Now, in Davao City, over 400 employees in a business process outsourcing office test positive for COVID-19. In a virtual briefing Monday, a local health officer said the company is now on lockdown. This comes as the government begins vaccinating essential workers under the A4 group, which includes BPO employees. Meanwhile, the independent research group OCTA projects that before next week, Davao City will surpass Quezon City as the area with the most number of new infections. Reacting to OCTA's forecast, Malacañang says it is not fair to compare the situation between the two cities. We now go above and beyond the headlines with the spokesperson of the Davao City COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Schlosser. Dr. Schlosser, very good evening to you. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Well, let's begin with that first. Yes, Malacañang is saying that it isn't fair to compare Davao City with Quezon City, and that's because OCTA is saying that next week you are expected to surpass Quezon City as the city with the most number of cases.
Actually, ma'am, it is a speculation to even go to that road. We are still dependent on the days to come. However, just like any other research, I respect that they are trying to know the sources of infection and study the individual movement of the infection in different LGs. But I guess it is not fair. In my humble opinion, it is not fair to compare it because we still have to look forward to the days to come because the local government unit of Davao is doing everything. We have in place all the strategies to mitigate the risk of the spread of the virus.
Well, can you tell us about what the city of Davao is doing? You said you're doing everything to mitigate this, to put this surge under control. So what exactly are you doing?
Well, we have our good mayor release an executive order, one of which is Executive Order 18 and Executive Order 20A. Influenza like illness will be tested, screened and tested. That's one of the strategy. We also have this strategy to swab all the close contacts from first generation to the third generation contact, so that we will be able to screen more and test more, and be able to detect detect the spread of the virus. And when you know the spread of the virus, it is strategy that we're placing is the zoning containment strategy, especially for those establishment with a cluster of cases. So as you have all known, I guess hindi naman it's not foreign to you that a lot of our BPO companies here in Davao is already on lockdown because of the said cluster of cases. Another strategy also that we have in place is the surveillance swabbing. Yes, ma'am. So
go ahead. Surveillance swabbing muna. Go ahead, then I'll ask.
Yes po. With the surveillance swabbing po, once we have assessed the risk of that establishment, if it is categorized as high risk, we will be doing a surveillance swabbing to make sure that the people there will be properly screened and tested. That's all, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You said a while ago, Dr. Schlosser, that a lot of our BPOs, so far we've heard of only two, no? Yung isa na 403 out of 1,000 employees nag-positive, and another BPO that was put in lockdown. But you said a lot. How many BPOs have a big number of COVID positive cases?
We have two BPOs that has significant number of cases, that highly critically significant number of cases. But as to date, ma'am, we have locked down 6 BPOs because of the cluster of cases. And all of those BPOs are already under mandatory swab all for all their employees.
Okay, so you've locked down 6 BPOs, including yung dalawa nga, yung isa na 403 out of 1,000, tas isa pa. Yung apat pang BPO, how many employees do they have, and of that number, how many are positive for COVID? Dr. Schlosser, can you hear me? Did you hear me?
Breaking po, Ma'am Pia. I have not heard what you've said earlier, ma'am.
Okay, ganito, no? Kasi you said 6 BPOs are under lockdown, no? So of the 6,
Correct,
yung
ma'am.
dalawa na alam na natin, yung isa na 403 out of 1,000 ang positive, and yung isa a significant number also. So for the remaining 4 BPOs, how many employees do each one have? Does each one have? And of those number of employees, how many are positive?
To sum it all, ma'am, for the for the BPOs that we are on monitoring, for the past 14 days, we have a total of 417 for all the BPOs. We have a total rather of 417 for all active cases for this BPOs that we have been monitoring, and 6 of the BPOs that we have been monitoring to have cluster of cases, 6 of which are already on lockdown, ma'am.
Okay. We've also heard about the yung shortage ng beds, for example, and that you're resorting to telemedicine. What are you going to do? What are the rules of Davao City when it comes to inbound travelers, people flying in or driving in from other areas?
We have secured our border, ma'am, land, sea, and air. So any traveler going inside Davao City, we will be requiring a negative RT-PCR test, and they will be quarantined for the next 14 days.
I see. Because just last week, Mayor Sara Duterte had a visitor, Gilbert Teodoro, former Defense Secretary, and Congressman Nonoy Andaya. They weren't quarantined, were they?
Okay. However, ma'am, that is for the typical traveler. But for the poor, those individuals with official business in Davao, they are only required to have negative RT-PCR tests. However, they will be monitored.
Okay, so authorized persons
constantly,
out of residence. Yeah.
Exactly, ma'am.
Okay. Pero they flew back na naman eh. Anyway, okay. All right. We need to end this interview. Pero yes or no na lang, no? Yung MECQ hanggang June 20, ma-extend pa ba ito, Dr. Schlosser?
That would be dependent on the number of cases that we will be having for the next couple of weeks, ma'am. However, for the approval of MECQ, apart from the number of cases, it will be dependent on the IATF screening and validation committee. So I cannot answer that for now because again, as I've said, that will be dependent on the number of cases that we will be having for the next couple of weeks rather.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Michelle Schlosser, spokesperson, Davao City COVID-19 Task Force. Salamat, ma'am.